The Braxton world has been thrown into complete chaos after a shocking moment involving Towanda, Michael, and Ashley. What happened has left fans stunned because it was something almost no one saw coming. It feels like a major turning point for the family, with a secret coming to light that could change everything. During the episode, Michael allegedly revealed a huge piece of information about Ashley's real mother. He did not slowly hint at it or avoid the topic. Instead, he reportedly said it openly while the cameras were rolling and while everyone was watching. The moment those words were spoken, the entire atmosphere changed. People around him were left speechless, and Towanda's reaction became the biggest topic of conversation. According to reports from people claiming to have knowledge of the situation, Towanda did not handle the revelation calmly. Instead, she allegedly had an emotional breakdown that shocked everyone in the room. Witnesses described her reaction as intense, with anger, disbelief, and pain all appearing at once. Some claims suggest that she became so overwhelmed that producers rushed in to control the situation. There were even rumors that someone shouted for the cameras to stop recording because things had gone further than anyone expected. After the scene, social media exploded. Fans of the Braxton family started debating what really happened and why Michael decided to speak out at that exact moment. The biggest question everyone wanted answered was why Ashley's mother became the center of such a dramatic reveal and why Towanda reacted so strongly when the name was mentioned. If the rumors are true, this may not simply be a family disagreement. Some people believe it could be a deeply hidden issue that has existed for years. The tension in the room reportedly became impossible to ignore when Michael continued explaining himself. According to the claims, everyone could feel that something serious had changed. The cameras kept recording as the situation unfolded, capturing what many believe was one of the most emotional moments the family has ever faced. More alleged leaks soon appeared online. One message from someone connected to the production claimed that Towanda had completely lost control after Michael spoke. Fans immediately began wondering whether Michael had exposed someone within the family or revealed something that Towanda had spent years trying to protect. Then another supposed leak appeared in the form of an audio recording. The clip was described as chaotic, with multiple voices talking over each other. However, many people focused on what sounded like Towanda's voice showing extreme emotion. The anger and frustration in the recording made fans believe this was not just a simple argument. It sounded like someone who felt deeply hurt and betrayed. Many viewers began asking whether Towanda had been protecting Ashley from the truth for years, or whether she was trying to protect the family's image. Old interviews and previous episodes were brought back into the spotlight. Fans started analyzing past conversations, awkward moments, and reactions that seemed normal at the time, but now appeared suspicious. Another alleged message changed the entire conversation. It claimed that Michael did not reveal the information to hurt Towanda, but because someone else was preparing to expose it first. If that claim is accurate, Michael's decision may have been less about starting drama and more about controlling how the story came out. As the situation continued, reports suggested that the argument behind the scenes became even more intense after filming stopped. Some claimed Towanda walked away from the set while extremely emotional, while others said producers were worried about how the footage would be handled. There were also rumors that legal teams became involved because the revelation was so sensitive. Meanwhile, fans continued searching for answers. Some defended Towanda, believing she was reacting out of pain. Others questioned whether she was trying to hide something important. Old clips, interviews, and family moments were being examined again as everyone tried to understand the bigger picture. The biggest mystery remains the same. Who is Ashley's real mother, and why did this information create such a powerful reaction? Until the family members involved speak publicly, fans can only speculate. But one thing is clear, this alleged revelation has created one of the most talked about moments surrounding the Braxton family, and many people are waiting to see what happens next. A single sentence was enough to create complete chaos. The moment those words came out, fans immediately started searching for answers. Everyone began naming possible people who could be connected to the mystery. Some fans went deep into old family records, childhood pictures, interviews, and past statements that had once been ignored. Things that people previously brushed aside suddenly became important clues. Every old comment, every strange moment, and every hidden connection was being examined again. The situation became even more intense when someone claiming to be close to Ashley shared a voice note that shocked everyone. According to the person, Ashley herself had no idea about what was happening. She never expected that a secret involving her family could come out in such a public way. If the claims were true, then Michael did more than simply reveal information. He completely disrupted a family dynamic that had existed for years. Suddenly, the anger, sadness, and emotional reactions from Towanda began to look different. Her frustration, tears, and strong response appeared to come from something much deeper than a simple disagreement. This was not just another family argument or a small personal issue. It was a revelation that could affect generations and change the way people viewed the family's history. Many felt Michael exposed something extremely sensitive without considering the consequences or giving anyone time to prepare. Then another message appeared online from someone who claimed to know the full story. The message suggested that Towanda was not upset simply because the secret was revealed. Instead, the person claimed she was hurt because of who the truth involved. The message ended with a warning that once the real name was revealed, the entire family story would change forever. The controversy was clearly not ending. In many ways, people believed it was only starting. Towanda Braxton had reportedly been working hard to stay away from unnecessary drama. She had been focusing on her career, her family, personal growth, and building her own identity beyond the constant attention surrounding the Braxton name. She appeared to be moving forward and creating a calmer chapter in her life. But after Michael made those comments about Ashley's real mother, everything she had carefully built seemed to be shaken. For Towanda, this was not just another rumor spreading online. It was not a television storyline created for entertainment or a moment designed to bring attention. The situation touched on old wounds and unresolved emotions that had been hidden for a long time. It brought back issues that she may have believed were already behind her. As expected, the internet reacted immediately. Fans flooded social media platforms, including Twitter, TikTok, and Braxton fan pages, demanding explanations. Some people accused Michael of trying to gain attention by revealing private family matters. Others believed he had exposed a secret that the family had been protecting for years. However, one question kept appearing everywhere. Why did Towanda react so strongly? Soon, people close to the production team began sharing their side of the story. They claimed Towanda was completely caught off guard. She was not warned about Michael's statement, and nobody gave her a chance to prepare a response. According to these reports, she was sitting in her dressing room while getting ready for a confessional interview when a producer entered and asked if she had seen what Michael posted. Towanda was confused because she had no idea what they were talking about. The producer then showed her the phone screen, where Michael's voice could be heard making claims about Ashley's biological mother and suggesting that Towanda already knew the truth. The room reportedly became completely silent. Towanda was shocked and struggled to process what she had just heard. For a moment, she simply stared at the screen. Then, after years of holding back emotions, something inside her changed. She stood up quickly, surprising everyone around her, and demanded a microphone. She wanted the opportunity to speak for herself. Many people knew Towanda as the calm and peaceful sister, someone who usually avoided conflict and tried to keep the family together. She was often viewed as the person who stayed quiet while others argued. But this situation brought out a different side of her. She felt her name had been pulled into something unfair, and she was no longer willing to remain silent. When the cameras started recording, Towanda did not wait for instructions or a prepared script. She walked directly toward the camera with confidence. Her expression showed that she was carrying years of frustration and disappointment. Looking straight into the lens, she addressed Michael and questioned why he was bringing up painful family issues now. She challenged him for discussing secrets after waiting so many years instead of handling them privately. The room reportedly became completely quiet as everyone listened. Towanda continued by saying Michael did not have the full story, but was acting like he was the person responsible for controlling the family's history. Fans who saw the footage were shocked because this was not the quiet and reserved Towanda they were used to seeing. This was a side of her that many had never witnessed before. The biggest reaction came when she said that nobody has the right to change the past just because they are uncomfortable with the truth. After that moment, social media exploded with questions. People wanted to know what Michael was hiding, why Towanda felt so betrayed, and what events had caused years of frustration to build up. Slowly, more details began coming out, with insiders claiming that Michael had always shared a complicated relationship with Ashley and her mother. The mystery continued to grow, leaving fans waiting for the next revelation. But what many fans did not know was that, years before this moment, the family had already been dealing with private struggles involving custody, responsibilities, and difficult questions about who raised whom. These were sensitive matters that had been kept away from the public eye for a long time. Towanda found herself caught in the middle of many of these conflicts, not because she wanted attention, but because everyone naturally turned to her whenever problems started. She became the person who tried to bring everyone together and stop arguments from becoming bigger. For years, Towanda carried the emotional weight of the family. She was the one trying to keep peace between siblings who sometimes could not even be in the same room without tension. She absorbed the frustration, the anger, and the hurt from both sides because she wanted everyone to stay connected. Instead of adding fuel to the fire, she often stood between people and tried to find a solution. It was a role that exhausted her, but she continued because she cared about her family. However, when Michael brought up the situation again, Towanda felt like she had been pulled back into a battle she had spent years trying to leave behind. She believed she had already done enough to protect everyone involved, but suddenly the same painful issues were being brought back into the spotlight. When Tamar heard about Michael's comments, she reportedly contacted Towanda right away. She was upset, emotional, and ready to confront Michael directly. She wanted answers and felt that the situation had gone too far. Tony, however, tried to slow things down. Instead of immediately reacting, she encouraged everyone to wait until the full story came out. She believed that making decisions based only on emotions could make the situation even worse. Trina, meanwhile, quickly supported Towanda and reportedly felt that Michael's actions were something she had seen before. She believed he was creating unnecessary drama instead of handling the issue privately. Michael did not appear ready to step back. Instead, he continued making statements and interacting with comments from fans who accused the sisters of keeping family secrets hidden for years. Towanda was extremely frustrated because she felt she understood exactly what was happening. In her view, Michael was sharing just enough information to create confusion and stir up reactions, but he was not taking responsibility for the impact his words were having on everyone. The truth about Ashley's mother remained unclear, and many questions were still unanswered. However, people close to the situation reportedly believed that it was never Towanda's story to reveal. She had spent years trying to protect Ashley's privacy and keep her away from unnecessary emotional pain. She wanted Ashley to have peace and not be forced into a public family conflict that she did not create. That was the reason Towanda reacted so strongly. She felt that something she had worked hard to protect was being exposed without permission. Reports claimed that she became emotional, left the set early, and refused to continue filming until producers addressed the situation. She felt betrayed because, in her mind, someone had intentionally opened a door that was supposed to remain closed. One producer reportedly said that Towanda felt like the one thing she had been protecting for years was being destroyed right in front of her. Then the situation became even more intense when Michael shared another mysterious message online. He wrote something suggesting that some people should have told the truth before he had to do it himself. That statement immediately caused a huge reaction among fans. Many people wondered who he was talking about. Was he criticizing the sisters? Was he referring to Ashley? Was he trying to send another message to Towanda? No one knew for sure, but the speculation spread quickly. Towanda reportedly contacted producers after seeing the post and made it clear that she was no longer willing to stay silent. She was tired of feeling like people could say whatever they wanted about her while she had to remain quiet. She did not want to be seen as the sister who always accepted blame or allowed others to control the story. For Towanda, this situation was about more than embarrassment. It brought back painful memories and reopened wounds she had spent years trying to heal. She was ready to finally share her side of the story without hiding her emotions or protecting everyone else's image. When Michael revealed something that many believed was not his place to reveal, he opened a door that Towanda had kept locked for decades. Once that door was opened, there was no easy way to close it again. That night, Towanda reportedly could not sleep, and the tension spread throughout the entire family. The home was quiet, but the atmosphere felt heavy. Phones were constantly buzzing, messages were flooding the family group chats, and everyone was trying to understand what had just happened. Meanwhile, Michael disappeared from a conversation. He stopped responding, turned off his location, and seemed to distance himself from the chaos that followed his words. But the damage had already been done. His statement continued to replay in everyone's minds. Ashley's real mother is not who people think she is. Towanda kept thinking about the way Michael delivered the message. She remembered his expression, his tone, and the emotion behind his words. It felt less like someone sharing a secret and more like someone using information to hurt others. The biggest problem was that Michael never actually revealed the full truth. He made a shocking statement, then left everyone with questions and no answers. Ashley was reportedly devastated after the confrontation. She spent time alone, sitting quietly in Tamar's guest room while looking through her phone with trembling hands. Online discussions were filled with rumors and accusations. People questioned who her biological mother was, why the information had been hidden, and whether other family members knew the truth. The rumors became more extreme as people began creating their own theories. Some talked about hidden family disagreements, secret arrangements, and old conflicts that had never been resolved. For Ashley, every new rumor made the situation more painful because she was the person at the center of a story she never asked to become public. It felt like another painful blow. Towanda could see the heartbreak written all over Ashley's face, and that worried her deeply. She knew that if Michael did not step forward and explain himself soon, Ashley might never fully recover from the emotional damage caused by the shocking revelation. The situation had already created so much confusion and pain, and now Ashley was left to deal with the consequences while the person who started everything was nowhere to be found. The producers tried everything they could to reach Michael. They called his phone, but it was turned off. They sent messages and emails, but there was no reply. They even sent people to his home, hoping they could find him and get answers. However, he was gone. It was as if he had disappeared the exact moment he revealed the secret. That only made Towanda's frustration grow stronger. She could not understand why someone would reveal something so serious and then refuse to face the reaction that followed. If Michael believed the truth needed to come out, why wasn't he there to explain his actions? Why wasn't he standing beside Ashley while she faced the public's judgment? Why wasn't he helping repair the damage he had caused? To Towanda, it felt like he had walked away from his responsibility, and that was something she could not accept. Hours went by, and eventually the sun came up. But with the new morning came another unexpected shock. A recording appeared online, showing the moment when Michael revealed the secret. Someone inside the house had captured the conversation, and once the clip reached social media, it spread everywhere almost instantly. Millions of people watched the video. Thousands of comments flooded in, and everyone had their own theories about what had happened. The leaked footage was even more emotional than people expected. Michael's voice sounded broken as he spoke. Towanda's expression changed as she struggled to process what she was hearing. Ashley covered her mouth in disbelief, while Tamar stepped back as if she had just witnessed something impossible. The sentence that shocked everyone the most was when Michael admitted that he should have revealed the truth years earlier. Those words repeated across social media platforms, becoming the center of every discussion. The Braxton family name was trending, but not for the reasons they wanted. Towanda felt overwhelmed as she watched the reactions online. She grabbed her phone and started reading the comments, but the more she saw, the angrier she became. People were blaming different members of the family. Some pointed fingers at Evelyn, while others blamed Tony or Trina. Some even criticized Tamar's emotional reaction during the confrontation. However, the harshest comments were aimed at Ashley. Some people called her the secret child, the hidden daughter, or even a mistake. Those cruel words deeply affected Towanda. She could not stand watching Ashley become the target of people who knew nothing about the real situation. Eventually, Towanda reached her limit. She walked into the living room, where the cameras had already been set up by producers who clearly knew the drama was far from over. As soon as she entered, the cameras focused on her. Everyone could tell she was about to say something important. She stood there filled with anger, but her voice remained calm and powerful. She looked directly at the situation and made it clear that people needed to understand the seriousness of what was happening. "You're hurting her," she said. "All of you. Do you think this is a joke? Do you think this is just entertainment? This is a real person's life." Towanda was furious that Michael had started such a serious situation but was not there to take responsibility for it. Tamar tried stepping in to calm her down, but Towanda was not ready to stop. She had too much to say. She made it clear that nobody had the right to reveal a secret this painful and then disappear. If Michael wanted the truth to come out, then he needed to be brave enough to deal with everything that followed. He could not leave Ashley alone while the entire world judged her. The room became silent as everyone listened. The producers looked concerned, Tamar stayed quiet, and Trina whispered to Towanda, trying to understand what was happening. But Towanda continued speaking with the same determination. She also addressed the people online who were creating their own stories and spreading assumptions. She told them that they did not know the full truth and should stop pretending they understood everything happening behind closed doors. Towanda's final words created even more mystery. She said that until the person truly responsible stepped forward, nobody would know the complete story. That statement caused even more speculation. Fans began searching for answers, and producers exchanged worried looks. The camera crew even paused because Towanda seemed to hint at something much bigger without directly revealing it. She was not accusing Michael. She was not blaming Evelyn. She was not talking about any of her sisters. It felt like she knew there was another part of the story that had not yet been revealed. Evelyn was not talking about any of her sisters. She was talking about the one person everyone had forgotten to mention, the woman who was Ashley's real mother. The room changed completely when Ashley slowly walked inside. Her eyes were filled with emotion, and her voice was quiet as she finally said what had been weighing on her heart for so long. "If she didn't want to claim me before," Ashley whispered, "then why would she want to claim me now?" Those words shocked everyone. Towanda immediately froze, unsure of what to say. Tamar covered her mouth in disbelief, while Trina looked away, clearly affected by the painful question. For a moment, nobody in the room moved. It felt as if all the air had disappeared. The silence was heavy because Ashley had asked the one question that everyone had been avoiding. It was the question no one wanted to answer. It was the truth that nobody had the courage to speak out loud. Yet Ashley finally said it, and the silence that followed was more powerful than any argument the family had ever experienced. Towanda slowly walked toward Ashley and gently touched her cheek. She looked at her with compassion and tried to explain the situation. She told Ashley that her mother did not reject her because she didn't love her. According to Towanda, she believed she was making the best decision she could at the time. It was a painful choice, one that Towanda herself did not agree with, but she insisted that love was still there. Ashley's voice became emotional as she asked the question that had been haunting her. "So you know who she is?" Towanda paused. For the first time that night, she didn't have an immediate answer. Her hesitation revealed how complicated the situation really was. Her eyes showed a mixture of sadness, fear, loyalty, and guilt. It was impossible to know exactly what she was feeling in that moment. After taking a deep breath, Towanda finally answered, "Yes, I know." Ashley struggled to hold back her emotions. She looked at Towanda and quietly asked if she would tell her the truth. The room became even more tense. Towanda's hands began to shake, and everyone watching could feel the seriousness of the moment. Tamar softly reacted, while Trina held onto a pillow as if she was preparing for something much bigger to happen. Towanda closed her eyes and gathered herself before responding. "I will tell you, but not like this. Not with cameras around. Not with the whole world watching." Ashley slowly nodded, but her emotions were still visible. Her voice trembled as she asked another difficult question. "What if she doesn't want me to know?" Towanda had no answer. She stayed quiet because there was nothing she could say that would make the situation easier. That silence spoke louder than words. It showed that there were still secrets, unanswered questions, and painful memories that had never been fully discussed. Eventually, the cameras moved away from the moment, but the damage had already been done. A mystery that had stayed hidden for years was finally beginning to come to the surface. What was happening within the Braxton family was becoming bigger than simple rumors or entertainment gossip. It was a deeply personal situation involving family history, identity, and emotions that had been hidden from the public for a long time. The truth had the power to change everything people thought they knew about Towanda, Michael, Ashley's childhood, and the complicated relationships inside the family. The secret could not stay buried forever. Michael could not avoid the truth forever, and Ashley could not continue staying silent while questions about her own identity remained unanswered. Eventually, the reality would come out, and when it did, it would create a major reaction. The family had faced many public moments before, but this was different. This was not just another story or controversy. This was about a person searching for answers about where she came from and why certain choices were made. As the truth moved closer to being revealed, everyone watching wanted to know what would happen next. The next chapter could uncover long-hidden details and change the way people viewed the entire situation. The story was far from over, and the biggest revelation was still waiting to be revealed.